I don't know what happened.
No.
Um,
All right, it's recording.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'm your presidential diamond upline. For anyone that's brand new, welcome. Thank you so much for hopping on here today. We have Rebecca who's going to be showing us how to do wrap parties, which I'm taking, tons of visual notes from because that's something that I really wanted to start doing this year. And I know that tons of you guys are interested in doing that as well, especially with summer. Like, I feel like it's the best time to host them. Everybody wants these products for summertime. So, but Rebecca does these all year round very successfully. So she's very educated on wrap parties, and I'm very excited to learn from her. So go ahead, Rebecca. Tiffany, if you can mute everybody except for Rebecca.
Yeah, I muted everyone except for her.
We're testing things out, Jessica. I've got somebody recording it. So can you hear me? Or do I need to talk louder?
You sound good.
All right, good.
Just
okay,
stay at that tone.
Okay. So I'm Rebecca Siemens. I'm an Emerald leader from North Carolina, soon to be Diamond leader. Yay, fingers crossed. And I do wrap parties. I started my business doing wrap parties. This is what I've always kind of done, a few online parties as well. So I'm going to give y'all some tips, some quick tips. Hopefully it won't take too long. I tend to get really excited. I tend to talk really fast. So y'all just slow me down, and Crystal, my camera person over here, will tell me to slow down. And then I will also do like an outline and send that to Jessica so she can send that to y'all. So anybody that wants it, she can put it on the Stay Humble page. So, and just a side note, last year when I started in May, and then they announced the cruise in June, I went on that cruise ship because I did parties. I built myself to Ruby. I built another distributor to Ruby, and that's how I got on the cruise. So parties are awesome. Parties rock. If somebody doesn't want to host a party for you, host it yourself. Do it at home. So here's my quick tips. Look professional. Carry one bag only because you want to look duplicatable. You don't want somebody to see you lugging in like 20 bags of stuff. You want to have one bag. Be very excited because when you're excited, people see that and then they get excited. Know your products. Know your products and love your products. Okay? So we're going to get started. I'm just going to show you some of the things that I take with me. The first very important one is a book. I have 10 of these made because hopefully you'll have 10 people at your party. This is my catalog. It has been laminated because that way I can take a dry erase marker and write in circle and write in circle. I have a blitz card. I have a customer order form, which you get off eSuite, and a distributor form, which you also get off eSuite. This is a dollar store folder. In the front, it has a little pocket. I keep my pens and stuff in it. Everybody should have one of these at the beginning of the meeting. So you hand them out like when they're coming in so that everybody has one. They can look at the catalog while you're talking about products. That way they don't just like sit there and they're like, what? This comes in your kit, the Join the Party, the Crazy Wrap thing. If you're unsure about doing parties, you can literally take this and write notes on the back of it and see your notes and flip through the guide if you're unsure about doing a party in the beginning. This is a congratulations packet. I generally have 2 or 3 of these simply because you want to sign distributors at your parties. A lot of mine have come from LCs, and in it, I just have stuff like your hundreds list, memory jogger, and a quick start guide that tells you like who your uplines are and some valuable information about posting and things like that. And all of my information, like my phone numbers, my emails, things like that. So I like to keep all of this on hand. And then this is a product info book. That way, if somebody comes to your party and they go, well, I take such and such, and I don't know if I can have that product or not, you list ingredients, you have it right here, right there. I don't generally keep this like out on the table because you don't want to clutter up anything, but I do have it with party. Depending on what people are interested in. Tonight, I'm just going to show you like my wrap party, but I will tell you, I also do facial parties. That's a good way to get women in. You just make a foot soak with your essential oils. You have that going. You let them test the facial products. You know, you have your rags, let them do the cleanser and the exfoliator, and you'll sell a lot of skincare line that way because people love to touch and feel. They want to use the stuff. So in the beginning, I just come in. And the first thing I do is introduction. So, hey everybody, thanks for coming. My name's Rebecca Siemens. I'm an Emerald Leader with It Works. Who has heard about that crazy wrap thing or It Works? This company was started back in 2001 by 2 school teachers who wanted to make summertime cash, and last summer they bought their own island for $14.5 million debt free. Okay, so this is what this company is about. We absolutely love our product. We're going to go over that crazy wrap thing. We're going to actually wrap our host right now, and then we're going to try it. So then you actually, you know, having a wrap to show. I actually have one of my distributors that has one that she's used, and she washed all the product off of it, and she let it air dry. That way she has it with her all the time, and she can hold it out and show people exactly what it looks like. That's my wrap I'm going to use tonight. It's already in my baggie. And then we wrap the host, and then if anybody else is really there and hey, you promoted the wrapping and they want to wrap then and there, then go ahead and wrap them so that they can sit with their wrap on while you're doing the product information. And then I talk a little bit about, like, I generally go around the room and do an icebreaker. Tell me what your name is, how you know the host, and what would you do with an extra $500 a month. It depends on what that bonus is at that time, or if they're offering the diamond bonus, then I would say like $10,000 a month.
Hey, Rebecca.
Yeah.
People are saying that it's hard to hear you.
Okay. You're going to have to come closer.
Maybe just talk a little bit louder. But you're doing amazing. I love this so far. I love the clean the wrap off idea. That's a great idea.
Okay. Hopefully y'all can hear me now. I feel like I'm screaming. That's okay. So then, you know, what's one thing you'd like to change about yourself? That kind of opens it up and lets people tell you exactly what they are there for. What are they interested in? Are they, you know, do they have skin issues? Do they have, you know, weight loss issues? Do they have low energy or joint aches? That kind of gives you what your crowd's going to be like. And then you can base, you know, a lot of your high points on your products based on what they tell you. So you always want to be listening and getting the feedback of what the people, your customers are saying that are sitting there with you. So after that, I go into the biggest thing I'm going to talk about is the greens tonight. Other than the wraps, we're going to talk about greens. And then I go over all the information about the greens, how they detox, and what is a toxin. I go around and ask people, what is a toxin? And people are either they don't know or they'll tell you what they think a toxin is. And then you tell them. A toxin is anything that is a foreign substance to your body. So if you're taking prescription medication, over-the-counter medication, caffeine, alcohol, cigarette smoke, fumes in the air, fumes from cars, pesticides, everything like that is a toxin that we put in our body. And our body does not know how to detox and rid of some of those toxins. And then those toxins build up. They surround your fat cell, and that's where a lot of your cellulite comes from. The more toxins you put in your body that your body can't push out, the more cellulite and the tireder you get. Toxins affect our everyday body. And then I go over the information on the greens, and then we have these little dollar store cups, the little shot glasses, come from the dollar store, 24 in a pack, and I always have a cold water bottle on hand, mix up your greens in front of them so they can see exactly what you're doing. You have greens on the go, regular can of greens, and then we pass it around, let everybody taste it. Most people don't like the word greens. They taste it and they're like, you know, that's not bad. And then you sell everybody on greens. From there, I start talking about what is a GMO. GMO. Does anybody know what a GMO is? And 99.9% of the people I've ever done a party for have no clue what a genetically modified organism is. So when you're taking over-the-counter supplements that have anything in it that's called a filler, which almost 99% of the over-the-counter stuff does, and it's going to have GMOs in it, which are your genetically modified organisms, things that they put on corn to make corn grow faster and things like that. It's not natural. there again, that's going to turn into a toxin in your body. So when you're putting a filler in something, you're not getting the whole amount of it. So you, that is what separates our products from some vitamin that you can just go buy off the shelf. Now on the table, if Crystal like kind of does like a sweeping thing, you can see that I have set everything up in groups. So you have your whole skincare line in one set. And then supplements, you don't have to put them all out. And then fat stuff, like Fat Fighters, ThermoFit, I say fat stuff, diet stuff. Your greens, followed by your greens, choosing anything that's like food-wise, your energy drink, or the bar that they can taste. And then on the end, I just have my oils. So if you're doing a facial party at that point, I would like start doing all the facial stuff. Like you would do cleanser, and then your toner, and then your exfoliating peel, and your Preventager Repairage. We have Lip and Eye. We have a few wow samples out. There's no need to put a whole box of stuff out here. If something's in a box, it's because I just haven't opened it yet. And then go over the hair, skin, and nails while you're doing the skincare line. All of y'all should know everything about our products, so I'm not going to go into how I explain the products. But one thing about cleanser and stuff is make sure you're telling people it's sulfate free. You know, that's a big deal these days. People don't want sulfates and things. Sulfates can mess your skin up pretty bad. So making sure you're going over that, the sulfate freeness of it, and exactly what the benefits of toner are. And these products will last you forever. I mean, the bottle of cleanser, and I do parties, and this cleanser just ran out, and I got it last October. So that's how long that lasts. Some of you may not last quite as long if you're using it as body wash. Okay. And then, in order to not make a party last, you know, for years and years and years, you want to go over like the top 10. So your top 10 products. If you're doing a facial party, of course, you want to go mostly on facial products. But other than that, you want to do like your top 10. And your top 10 should be things that you sell a lot of, that you're very knowledgeable about, and things that you use that you love. If you love the wraps and the cleanse and the greens and the ProFit, and those should be things you should talk about a lot because you're very knowledgeable about those and you want to share those. You know, and then also if you have somebody that's like, oh, in the beginning, she's like, yeah, I got joint pain. I just, you know, or my knees give out, blah, blah, blah. Then that's your sign to talk about relief. If you have somebody that's talking about weight loss, that's your sign to talk about, you know, the ThermoFit, the Fat Fighters, the cleanse, the greens, the whole entire system. So we go from greens to GMOs. When you go to GMOs, you can start talking about different types of supplements. There again, based on what people you have. I can talk about Confianza all day long. It is the best $25 a month that I spend because I have a 2-year-old. I'm sure Jessica knows all about that because she has one too. We love our Confianza. It keeps us sane. It keeps us a happy mom. I also love Regular. Regular is hard for me to post about on Facebook, but I love this stuff. I take it every day. And it does what? It makes you regular. It's kind of, you know, that's the name. So people got their wraps on. You're like, you know, how's it feeling? Do you have that warm, tingly feeling, the cool, tingly feeling? People talking about it, get people commotion, people asking you questions. You know, try and get interaction. Talk about your ProFit. You can cut up a greens chew into like 8 pieces and pass that sample around. You can cut up an essential bar and pass it around. You don't even have to cut up the whole thing. You can cut up half of it, the other half in a Ziploc bag, take it home, and use it for the next day. Or even, you know, if you have a party the next day, do that. Talk about your essential oils. I'm just trying to think where else. We have the nutrition pack because that's what my husband takes. So I have that. I have them separately, but this is a whole lot easier just to throw in the bag and go. And, you know, if you're doing a party, you don't even have to have the whole box. You know, you could throw out like 3 of these just on the table. You know, minimizing it, taking up as less space as you can. Does anybody have any questions? Or Jessica, you want to say anything before I go any further about what I do? Am I not giving enough info or too much?
No, I think you're doing great. But
Okay.
Does anyone have any questions? I gotta agree though with the Confianza and Regular, my favorite products.
Yes, and the cleanse. Oh my gosh, I love the cleanse. I have that like on my auto ship now. I do it every month. every single month.
I can't wait to try it. Everyone around me, you know, all my parents and my brothers and Justin, all try it once a month, and I'm like, oh, I want to try it so bad.
So much better.
Okay, anyone have any questions? Go ahead and unmute yourself, but I think she's doing fantastic. No? Okay, so keep going. Keep doing your thing.
When I say look professional, guys, when I did my first one, I didn't have a shirt. This shirt I'm wearing, and excuse the size of it, mine's in the dryer, and this is my husband's extra large. I try to make it look small on me. This is a 20, hold on, camera malfunctions. Sorry, guys. This is a $20 shirt. That's it. $20. And they also have one in the men's section that's only $16. So, you know, invest in a shirt. Wash it and wear it, and wash it and wear it, and wash it and wear it. You know, it's like Joel Dunn said, it doesn't have to say something about these are my work clothes or this is this. All it has to say is the wrap or the crazy wrap thing or it works. I mean, I've had the pizza guy come to my house and he's like, oh, what? It works. Oh, let me give you a Blitz card and tell you all about it. Simply because I'm wearing this, and I do have a wreath on my door that my team made me that's a it works wreath. When I say one bag, this is my bag that I use. It's a 31 bag. It has everything in it. It even has like my files in it. You could use something smaller. It doesn't have to be that big. My first one wasn't that big, but this just fits in the trunk of my car very nicely. Goes right inside with me. Go watch the Penguin movie. Out. You don't need paper. Go watch your Penguins, please.
Where's the feather?
Pause. Hold on. I'll be right back. Come on. Sorry about that. 2-year-old's here. Husband's gone. Always at work. But we're gonna change that because we're gonna retire him. Okay, where was I? All right, the shirt. Look professional. Carry one bag. When you go to talk about the products, make sure y'all know the products. Know the little things about your products. If you don't know good about one product but somebody else does, then ask them. If Jessica goes out and does a party and she hasn't tried the cleanse, what's the first thing she's gonna do? She's gonna ask all of her distributors around her, hey guys, what do y'all think about the cleanse and why? How did it make you feel? What did it taste like? Because that makes her knowledgeable about it because she can't use it yet. Same thing with, Green's shoes. It's essential bars. Obviously, I think everybody's tried Fat Fighters. At least I hope we have, because it's like the cheapest product you can get. I'm trying to think. What else do we do, Crystal? Crystal, you do parties? Don't look at me like that.
I think you've covered it. You've hit everything.
If you have the essential oils, it's always good to have like the diffuser going with like the Boom or something. I don't have the It Works diffuser. Don't hate me. That I need to get it, but I have like a doTERRA one simply because I had essential oils laid before I ever started doing It Works. But you can use like the Boom, have it going, have the aroma going. Know about your oils. People are very, very, very big into that oil thing right now. So know your oils. Oils are a great thing that we can add. Know your oils. Okay, and then in the beginning when I said, what would you do with the bonus? That's when I start talking about being a distributor and loving what I do. And then I tell like my upline, oh my gosh, my upline started last February. She had credit card debt and she really wanted to get out of debt. She made a $10,000 bonus, but on top of that, she made her husband a $10,000 bonus in like 5 or 6 months. And now their combined income is based on, our average monthly income chart, and of course we have one of those in our files that we can show. That gets people excited and they're like, ooh, I could do this. I mean, all she's doing is that. And then I go, well, my upline, she doesn't really even do a whole lot of parties. I started really doing the parties, but she just works off Instagram and Facebook. I mean, you can literally just like work from home. You don't even have to leave your house or your comfy sweatpants. If you have kids and you just want to stay home with them, this is a way to do that. Be excited about it. Let that excitement come across. I've built my team off of having parties. I've never signed a person off of Instagram other than one person I'm working on right now. I've signed LCs off of Facebook, but most of my distributors that I've built from have come from doing parties. It's easy, it's fun, I enjoy it, I love doing it. I am always here if you have any questions whatsoever about doing a party or you have a question. I'd be more than happy to help you. I'd be more than happy to give you stuff. And I'll try, like I said, to do like an outline for Jessica so she can have that to send out to y'all. Y'all can follow better. Is that it? Does anybody have
Control your party. Don't let your party control you.
Yes, control your party. Do not let your party control you. We have done this a few times where you've got people that are kind of talk over top of you, and they may have kids there and stuff like that. You always want to make sure that you are the person that is controlling that environment and you are controlling that party. I've done wine parties before that kind of get a little bit out of hand. No joke, it was probably the highest party I ever had because I had like 3 people there and it was almost $500 in sales.
Wow.
They probably didn't know what they bought the next day, but it was a hoot. But yes, control your party. And then another thing I was going to say is do not undersell yourself when you are doing a party. If somebody comes to you and they've got their catalog, I do all of this individually. Okay, so when I finish the party, they've all got their catalogs and everything like that. And then most of the time, like your 45 minutes is up. If they want to take their wrap off and take a picture, we might go into a separate room and bust this out. And then they're like, well, I'm really interested in this and this and this. I take the back of a customer order form and I write down what they're interested in and I write down their prices and I total it and I go, okay, that's what that is. And they'll either say yes or no. And then if they say no, you work from there. Lots of times, 85% of the time, they say yes because they're like, okay, that's fine. After we've explained the loyal customer program to them and everything like that, they want to set up the first one and I don't have to do all that the next month, so I'll go ahead and do that now. Don't undersell yourself. Don't go, are you sure? Well, you don't have to get all of this if you don't want to. Well, you could do this one month and this next month. You only say that when they tell you that they can't afford something. So they're like, well, I really can't afford that much. And I go, well, how about we take this one off and we put that on your... How about we do that one next month? Hold on, guys.
Jess, someone has their hand raised.
Oh, hold on, let me see.
It's Kate.
Kate, go ahead.
Well, I raised my hand a while ago. I don't want to interrupt. So, are you all done, or do you want to just like finish up and then you can just open up to questions? Mary? Okay. Well, I actually have a couple of questions. So, first of all, the first one my number one question is where do you find the people that come to your wrap parties? Like, where do you find them? Like, do you get them off of Facebook and Instagram, or are they like your friends, like people you know, coworkers, or like where do you find them? Because I feel like, honestly, like that would be the hardest thing for me. To find people, like I have a hard enough time like having people that actually like commit to like coming to anything, because it's difficult, So I feel like where do you get them?
I get them from Facebook. I started with friends and family, obviously.
Okay.
And then I tried to book parties off the people that come. Like when you do a party, you always want to try and book 1 or 2 parties from somebody else. Like if somebody's really interested in rapping, then go, well, you can rap for free if you host your own party. And they're like, free rap. Who doesn't like free? And then, Facebook, I've also gotten them like from blitzing people. I blitzed somebody at Kohl's one time and she wanted to have a big party.
Do you have like a minimum of people that you require to be there?
No. And I tell you this because I've done parties. I've only done one party ever where somebody didn't book anything. That was a joint party with a 31 Gifts lady, and she promised to host the party for me. So she just kind of like threw me in with her party, which was never a good deal. Y'all don't ever do that. Don't ever do that because people are only there for one thing. They were not there for it work. We went to a rap thing, of like a rap party, with a bunch of presidential diamonds, like the 1 team, 1 mission thing. And once this one lady said that, she had to drive 45 minutes, get a babysitter, and the lady goes, well, I really don't even know if I have anybody coming. She went anyway, sat down and talked to that lady individually, and that woman was the last spot in her diamond chart because she signed as a distributor. So even if you have one person coming, that's one more person that you did not already have. And that's kind of the way I look at it. So I've never set a minimum.
That's good to know. I've never known that. I've always heard, you can wrap for free if 4 people purchase a wrap kind of thing. So that's interesting.
I generally just if you look at the Blitz card, if you host a party and try it for free with that coupon. So generally, if I'm going to go and somebody's going to host a party and open their house up to me, I'm going to wrap them.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay, so I've got a couple of questions just off of that. So if you're having somebody, so you say that every party that you have, you're trying to book somebody. So do they have to be a distributor to throw a wrap party, or can they just be like?
No, anybody.
Okay.
Anybody can host it.
Okay, so then if you are, I'm kind of having trouble wrapping my head around like having somebody come to my party with no knowledge of wrap parties or anything, and then having them like go from there and then like throwing their own wrap parties. Like they don't have they don't have any of your stuff that you have. Like they don't have products to show. Sorry, go ahead.
They're hosting a party for you.
Right. You're going in and out, so I'm having a hard time hearing you.
You're coming into their home. They're hosting.
To their place and doing your party. They're only hosting.
Okay. That makes much more sense. Okay. I'm sorry, maybe I'm just slow at this because I've never really looked into parties for myself or anything like that. I've never even explored the idea of doing a party. So I apologize in advance because I do have a lot of questions. And I'll try and be quick. So you're trying to book somebody to have their own wrap party, and you're coming and you're doing their thing. How you give them a free wrap, or how do they get the free wrap out of that?
Wrap their party that they host, because you don't want to give them a free wrap and they go home with it and then you never hear from them again.
So it comes from you. You give them the wrap.
Yes, it comes from me. Because,
okay.
Like for instance, if I go to a party and I book 4 loyal customers.
Rebecca, it's kind of hard to hear you a little bit.
If I go to a party,
there we go.
I have 4 loyal customers, and that gets me 2 wrap rewards or whatever, then it's completely worth it just to give them one of those wraps. That's how you build your business. Completely worth it.
Okay.
That's the way I see it.
No, that definitely makes much more sense. Okay, so let me just see here. What was my other question that I had?
Do you give them the option to do facial or body wrap?
Yes. I
Okay.
do. The reason why I started doing facial parties is because I did a lot of wrap parties in the beginning, and then you get people that are kind of like, well, I don't want to come to a party if I have to pay to do something. So then I started advertising like as relaxation facial parties, and I went out and I bought these white tubs at the dollar store that you put your feet in. I made my own soak and scrub, and that's a recipe off Pinterest. You just add a couple drops of oil to it. Use my own washcloths from my house, or if you have a host that's doing it, get their washcloths. I'm potty training my 2-year-old. He just walked past with the whole potty into the bathroom. Life as a mom. And I started doing them because I was like, hey, come get a free facial. Who doesn't want a free facial? And I would get a whole lot more people coming in that way. Now, instead of like 3 or 4 people, you have like 8 people, because they're all about, yeah, I'll come get a free facial. Who doesn't want a free facial? All they hear is that word free, and it's going to be something for them, and they're going to get a night away from their kids, hopefully. Sometimes they do bring them, which is fine. I've worked around it. Just control your party. And that's why I started really doing the facial party. It does seem to work better because, like I said, people want to come and they want to be pampered and they want to get something free. So now I just like a relaxing pamper you facial party kind of thing. And I've even done like a distributor meeting that way. Like I did the distributor meeting. We all sat around and I passed the products around and everybody gave themselves their own facial just in case they'd never used the product before too. We had a lot of fun with that. Kind of builds knowledge as well about the facial products.
That's
What do
awesome.
What do you feel about people actually, somebody had asked me, like, so say you had 5 people who wanted to come to this wrap party. Would you recommend having them pay $25 up front and they're automatically going to get a wrap and then you're going to demonstrate everything?
That's up to you. Like some of my distributors that do wrap parties, they when they create the Facebook, we generally create a Facebook event, and then we also message everybody and we tell them they can come wrap for $25. Sometimes, depending on you and depending on people, I've done like come and wrap for $25, or when you become a loyal customer, we'll knock $5 off the price and you can wrap for $20.
Oh, okay.
So we kind of do it like that. They have the option to wrap. They don't necessarily have to wrap, but they definitely have the option. Some people come and they want to wrap and they can't wait to wrap and they'll pay the $25 to wrap, And some people are going to be like, oh, I don't know, I'll just buy 4 wraps, as a loyal customer. So when you go do a wrap party, you're not going to have every single person wrap. Sometimes you might just have 1 or 2. Sometimes you might just be your hostess. But as long as you're signing LCs up, then that's what you want to do anyway. And while we're on like wrap, y'all can get the what's the thing called?
Careful about
The Square Register. It's a free app that you can download, and you just click it to your phone and swipe their card. That way, if they come and they want to wrap and they go, oh, I don't have cash, that's okay. We take debit and credit too, and you can literally just swipe that card. And I think if you sell like a $25 wrap, you get like $24.37 of it. At least in North Carolina, you do. So to me, that's a good deal, rather than them walking out and not buying one at all because they didn't bring them $25 cash.
Right.
I don't know about y'all, but I never have cash ever.
Is that an It Works app that you can scan somebody's card?
No, it's called
No,
Square.
it's called the Square.
It's called the Square.
Yep, Square Register, and you download it on your phone, and they'll send you the little swipe thing. Or you can just key in a card on the keypad.
Oh, okay.
Mel, you can unmute yourself. And can you unmute yourself, Mel?
Or you can use PayPal too. I've had a lot of people use PayPal.
Yeah.
Mel, you can unmute yourself and ask. There's another person who has their hand raised too. I'll get to you next, Myrna, too, when Mel asks her question.
Thank you.
Oh, well, of course.
Go ahead, Mel.
I was wondering if you'd ever done a party with like different vendors. Like I know somebody who wants to host a party with like her Dove consultant and Scentsy consultant. Have you ever done anything like that?
Yeah, I just said we did a 31 gifts party along with my It Works. I had one person buy a wrap. Here's the thing about doing joint parties. If you're doing a vendor event, when there's lots of people set up, that's one thing. But when you do a joint party, your hostess is trying to get like the most out of everything, which is fine. I get that. But people are coming generally to that party, to whatever she's advertised it, for like that one thing. So they're not going to come. Generally, people aren't going to come and buy like Scentsy, Origami L, It Works, 31 Gifts. They've got their mind on one thing they want. You can try it if that's the only way they'll do it. I don't recommend it, and I try not to do it. But if that's the only way my hostess is going to do it, then I'll give it a shot. Because you're going to do a whole lot more doing your own party than having to share with somebody else. You're not going to have as long talk, and people are going to buy one or the other, but generally not like all three. Because, we're not all made of money yet.
Yeah, I just figured that would be an easier way, like for a first party, because I do have pretty bad anxiety, but I've been wanting to try one. So I thought that may be like easier, so the focus isn't completely on me,
Yeah, that's a good way. Obviously, in my playbook, I want all the focus on me because that's just how I am. Because that I I have that drive to do that. And I have no problem with crowds or anything, parties. That doesn't bother me. A vendor event is a good way to kind of get yourself acclimated with doing things, because you can start talking to people and you don't feel like everybody's just looking at you and the pressure's on you. So vendor events are always a good tool to do that. You can Google all the events. There are vendor events everywhere. Carrie Gabriel, she just went presidential about the same time Jessica did. She is in Hawaii. She does like 2 or 3 vendor events every single week, just because they just, it's always nice there and people have outdoor festivals all the time. And then like if you've got somebody that lives near you, that can help you do a party, that helps too. Like every time I sign a distributor, we do a launch party. Always do a launch party. That's one thing I like to do. Have them invite their friends, and then I generally do the party for them so they can watch and learn. If I need to do 1 or 2 with them, that's fine. And then, hopefully from there they can start doing their own. But if you have somebody around you that's comfortable doing it, team up and get them to help you, or your upline or something like that can help you, get them to do that as well.
Okay, there's another question. Myrna, you can unmute yourself and ask.
Thank you. Hi, Rebecca. First of all, thank you so much for sharing all this information. My question to you is, how do you do as far as asking people if they want to rap? I've hosted like 5 rap parties, and I got to tell you, I've gotten LCs, but nobody wants to rap. I don't know if I'm actually saying the wrong thing, or maybe I'm starting it off wrong. I usually, as soon as they sign in and I welcome them, I usually tell them, okay, like, who wants to rap? And they all look at me very awkwardly. They're interested in the raps, but
are you rapping your host in front of them?
No. See, the thing is, I'm hosting all the rap parties in my home. I've only done 1 outside my home, and even then, she doesn't want to rap. She just told me, you know what? Just give me the rap, and I'll rap myself later. Just give me the instructions later.
When you're
what would you
hosting
suggest?
a party, are you rapping yourself?
No, but I do have a before and after picture of myself, of me rapping. Should I start doing that? Should I rap myself?
I would try that, and it doesn't even have to be like, you don't have to be using your own rap every single time. Like, if you rap one time, like I said, dry it out, and then at the next party, if you don't want to use another rap or you're trying to sell them, put that back on, put some saran wrap about that, and nobody will ever know the difference.
Got it. That is genius.
Another like, guys, I'm rapping. This is how easy it is. We're all like, everybody has that one part of your body that you're self-conscious about. What is it? And see if they'll tell you that, and then be like, so do you want to try a rap on it? And let's see how it works. And then you can take them like into a room that's separate. Right. That way they don't feel comfortable rapping in front of people. But yeah,
okay.
Yourself, because then people are more apt to want to try it.
My other question to you is, have you ever done like a bridal rap party, or actually have gone into like a beauty salon and actually have done any kind of rap parties there? Because I've actually reached out to some businesses, and I've been asked if I do like bridal parties, and if I were to do a bridal party, should I just focus on the raps, like the Lip and Eye, like the Wow, like for that most, or should I just go ahead and do the whole presentation? What would you suggest?
I have not done bridal parties. I wish I could get into that, and I want to go to some of our bridal events just to set up a vendor table to get into that. I have a friend that did it, like 3 distributors off one party. The way that I've always been taught that the bridal parties are done is the bride raps for free. Is it her, and then I would find out if you know what like type of dress they're wearing.
Okay.
People are really funny about their arms showing in a strapless dress, and if they're doing strapless or like a little tiny sleeve or something, then be like, hey, let's wrap everybody's arms.
Got it.
And then that gets people more apt to want to wrap. And I would just try and I would pretty much probably do the whole entire presentation if I had time. I mean, you can pretty much keep it down, but I would try and do like mostly the whole entire presentation and just show them like how easy. Was there another question in that?
Yeah. That was pretty much my question. Because thank you so much, Rebecca. Thank you.
Okay, I do have a few more questions just real quick for you.
Okay.
So I had asked previously, where do you get your customers? And you had said that you get them from Facebook. For me, like when I'm growing my business on Facebook, most of the time I pull from like mom groups and I pull from like, different groups from people all across the US, like getting just like a whole like plethora of different types of people. And for wrap parties, obviously, unless if you're doing an online party, they have to be local. Like, do you always know personally the people who come to your parties? Because didn't you say you had one with like 300 people? Did I hear that right? Or
No.
oh, okay, I must have. It's kind of going in and out, so I'm not sure. But I mean, do you always
wrap party? Generally, I know a lot of the people that host parties. I don't always know them. A lot of my Facebook is local to North Carolina and Florida and stuff. I have an aunt that lives in Florida, and actually, I'll tell you a little story. Last year, when I started in May, I met Kirsten Santos on Instagram. Watched her for 2 months, signed up underneath her. We actually met in August because my aunt lives in Florida. And believe it or not, they're like 2 hours away from Bradenton, Florida, and yet none of these people that came to the wrap party knew about It Works, even being that close in Florida. So we just like took a vacation down there and did like a wrap party on Friday night and Saturday night for all these Florida people that I had on my Facebook. And then we wrote off the whole trip as a tax write-off. And I had like 2 $500 parties. I had one on Friday night and one on Saturday night. So, and then my cousin lives in West Virginia. I signed her as a distributor, and I told her whenever she's ready that I'd come up there and do her first party for her. And hey, that's tax write-off. So, it depends on the person. And mom groups are hard. That is a hard group to crack.
Yeah.
And I know why that's a hard group to crack. When I was pregnant with Joshua, I had the What to Expect When You're Expecting app, and I can remember people constantly coming on there talking about It Works stuff. Oh, well, you should try the Stretch Mark cream. Oh, well, you should try the wrap, blah, 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 blah. And everybody else on there bad-mouthed all the It Works people because they said, oh, these It Works people, they're so spammy, blah, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah. They don't even know us, blah, 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 blah. So all these moms from the get-go are like, oh, well, this person said it's spammy, so it must be. So then all these stay-at-home mom groups are like, oh, that's just spammy. Oh, we just don't like that. And you have like one bad person that messaged every single one of them when they got on their group page, and now they all hate It Works because of that. Them mom groups are hard to crack. I know because I've been trying to crack through one of them for 6 months now.
Yeah. No, I know. So my next question then, I didn't really catch everything that you put into those folders that you get from the dollar store. I know you said your catalog, but what else did you put in there?
Okay, you have a catalog. It's laminated. I started laminating catalog simply because Joshua, my son, he tore up like the first 3 that I got in my kit. Okay. So these are laminated.
So do you they don't take the folder home with them? You just Okay. Go ahead, sorry.
I generally give 2 Blitz cards per catalog. And I always tell somebody, that's 1 to keep and 1 to give away. 1 to keep, 1 to give away.
Okay.
And then you have your order form and your distributor sign-up form.
Okay, and then that was my next question is, do you make your own order form?
This is on eSuite.
It's on eSuite? Oh, okay. So then when you get somebody's order form, do you just kind of fill in the information into your website and that's how they become a loyal customer?
Yes, if I do it this way. Now, like if you're doing a party and you have like 3 people in front of you, then, you can do it right then and there, obviously. Put in their orders. But if not, like I've done a party before and I had like 8 people to go home and put in, then I just did it this way. And then you send them like a thank you card that has like their distributor ID number on it. And then I just make like a password and then they go in and tell them to go in and change it. Okay. Plus, not to mention, you might have people that come to your party. This is another big tip about parties. Like, say I do a party on Tuesday night, and Crystal comes to my party, and she goes, oh, I really want to try those wraps. I don't get paid till Friday. And she really, really wants those wraps, but she don't get paid till Friday. Do not let her walk out that door. You get out your little customer form and you write down every single bit of her information, including her card that she wants to use. And you've already got everything. That way, when Friday comes around and you message her and be like, hey girl, I'm putting your order in right now. Then she can't be like, oh, well, I'm not ready and I don't want to give you my stuff. If she says, obviously, no, don't do that, then don't do that. But, you know, it's better to already have it in front of you and do it. You know, like, okay, well, I'll write the date down and write the date down on the top, and that's the day that I'll put in your order, and then just remind her that you're going to put in her order. Instead of them walking out and being like, okay, well, I'll get in touch with you on Friday when I get paid, and then you never hear from her for 6 months. We've had a lot of that.
Okay.
Like, oh, well, I'm going to order. I'm like, well, did you get their information? No.
Yeah, that's a really, really good idea. So then, lastly, just a quick one. You said with when you do like the spa one for your facial wraps and stuff, how is the wrap free? Like, cause wouldn't it be $25 to do a facial wrap?
I don't do facial wraps. When I say I do a facial, then we do cleanser.
Oh.
Exfoliating peel.
Got it.
Whatever moisturizer they choose, lip and eye, and then wow. And then if you're gonna do wow, try and take like the before and after picture, either with their phone or your phone. I generally do it with my phone because I have the app.
Okay.
That way you see the results themselves. That's how I do the facial. It doesn't take long at all. Like,
Okay. So then lastly, you just said that you showcase like one thing. You say like other than the wraps, we also have greens, and then you do like the samples of greens and stuff like that. Do you always do greens for like that other item that you're showcasing?
I always do greens.
Okay. All right. That's it. My questions are done. Thank you so much.
Okay. Let me just reiterate, like, one of the reasons why I always do greens. If somebody does wraps and they get the results they want, they may not continue to order from you. If somebody does essential oils, you know, then they may not order from you after their 3 months. If somebody gets hooked on greens choose the It's Vital, any of the It's Vital, the Relief, the Confianza, or the regular, then chances are you're going to keep a loyal customer a lot longer than 3 months. My aunt started on greens last August, and she still orders them every single month because she says if she goes a day without her greens, she knows it. Takes her greens every single day. And I'm the same way. If I'm driving that day, I'm like, oh man, I forgot to take my greens. Just like my Confianza. When I lay down at bed at night and my mind's racing 100 miles an hour like it was doing last night, then I know that I did not take my Confianza. Once you get somebody on something like that, even if it's just a $25 thing, they're going to start relying on that. They're going to order it every single month, and you're going to have a loyal customer longevity instead of just the 3 months. So that's the reason why I always go over definitely greens and things that you really want people to stay on. Anything else?
I actually do have like one more really, really quick question that I just thought of. Somebody had told me previously that they had done a wrap party and somebody had wrapped like her arm or something like that, and she personally like didn't see any type of a difference or anything, and it obviously was setting off like a bad vibe and stuff, and whoever was hosting the party was like, oh, I see such a big difference, like, can't you see the huge difference? But she honestly didn't really see a huge difference, which I've had tons of customers who with the first wrap, they don't really see much. They see a little lift and whatever, but I mean, how do you handle those situations?
I just do it like I do with anything. Like, I generally give stories of people that, that I know. Like with me, I saw a difference with the first wrap, and I've done 4, or this is the story I used to tell. because Lord knows I need to start wrapping for bikini season. But like I saw results with the first wrap, and I did with the second wrap. The third wrap, I didn't see anything, and then I was like, I really didn't drink water, and I really didn't do this, and I really didn't do that. And then on the fourth wrap, I saw a drastic result. And then I can say, well, like my distributor Angela, she didn't really see results the first one, but when she did the second one, she did. That's why 1 wrap is a treat and 4 is a treatment, and then 12 is a transformation. So you always want to make that. That's like another one of those things you want to make personal.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else?
Rebecca, I'm sorry. I have one more question. Usually when at the end of don't mind the background. I'm sorry. I have 7 kids. So guys, please, thank you. So when at the end of your wrap party, do you usually also talk about the possibility of the business opportunity, or do you mention it at all in the wrap party?
Yeah, in the beginning, that's what I was telling you earlier. In the beginning, when we're like going around the room and saying like, what would you do with like an extra $500 a month, or what would you do with like a bonus of just $500 or $10,000, depending on what the bonuses they're offering at that time. That's when I kind of go into the company a little bit, just to kind of plant that seed in their head. And then when you're at the end, that's one of the things that I'd always be like, so. That was one of the lessons that I learned from watching Stephanie Dunn not long ago. She told me, or not told me, I wish she told me, right? She was in the video and she said when she started her business, and she still does this to this day, that she looks at every single person as a potential distributor instead of a potential loyal customer. And if you do that, that will change your business. So when somebody says, hey, like messages you and they're like interested in the products, then the first question she always asks is, are you interested in using the products, or are you interested in making money and using the products? And then that kind of plants that seed. So same way, like in the end, when we're going over everything and they tell me what they're interested in, that's when I'd be like, so are you interested in just using the product, or would you be interested in using the product and making money at the same time? And give them the business opportunity then. I try to do the ending with people more one-on-one instead of just like, here's a catalog, mark what you want and order, because I've been to like, Pampered Chef where they do that. And I try and do it more as a one-on-one, like as this person over here is looking at their catalog and I've got this other person either in a separate room or off by themselves. Because in this business, I've learned people don't always want to tell you what their insecurities are out in a public group. If they have an insecurity about their weight or the fact that they might have IBS with constipation, they don't necessarily want everybody in that group to know about it. And people don't want everybody to know about their finances, what they can and cannot afford. So I try and do more one-on-one, and that's when I would offer the business prospect.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Anybody else? Hearing crickets. Maybe that's just North Carolina.
Stella, you can unmute yourself, or did you? If you want.
Oh, I'm sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I was wondering, when you first started doing wrap parties, how many products did you have? Because I'm really interested in doing a wrap party, but I don't have very many products on hand.
I had wraps, greens, ThermoFit, and Fat Fighters.
Okay.
And that was wraps, obviously, I had from my kit. And when I got my free product, I got Fat Fighters and ThermoFit and greens. And greens is the one thing, obviously, that I always have on hand. I don't run out of greens. And I keep greens on the go. I actually have the big tub of greens, the little tub of greens, and I have the 3 boxes of greens on the go simply because I give them out as samples a lot to people, and that gets people to order. Plus, not to mention, if some of my team needs something, then I try and help them out as well. But you don't even have to have, we have team sharing around here. All of this is mine, but because I take a lot of this stuff, like when I run out of Fat Fighters, then I ask people in my team who needs that bottle. So, even if you've used the product, like say you've used all of your with ThermoFit or something, save the bottle, you know, because that bottle doesn't have to have anything in it for your party. So that's what I've done with a lot of my downline is that when I get done with something, because I pretty much have everything now, but if I get done with something, then I have like a whole bag of stuff and I'm like, who needs what? And then I distribute my empty bottles to all of them so that they can go do parties as well if they are interested in doing parties. So the bottle doesn't even have to have anything in it, as long as you've got greens and wraps.
Okay.
And I probably have empty bottles if you need me to send you some.
That's cool. I don't.
Box full of empty stuff.
I'm breastfeeding, so I haven't really used a whole lot of the products. So it's like, but I do. I got the greens on the go, and you know, I have the wraps and stuff that I've got as well. So, I just, you know, I was curious. Thank you.
Yeah. And I just ordered like the It's Essential bars. I was out of those for a long time, and I just got some more in for like samples and stuff like that. And if you go to a vendor event, you can sell energy drinks for like $4, and you can sell the essential bars as well. So, you know, we always have those at vendor events to sell and stuff like that.
Rebecca, I'm sorry, I had one more question.
Okay.
When you host the wrap parties, do you show before and after pictures of results of maybe, for example, for hair, skin, and nails, or for like the system? Because when I usually do them, I usually show the pictures, but one of the things that they ask me, have you tried this? And I'm usually honest. I usually tell them yes if I have, or no if I haven't. Like, I haven't tried the system. Or how would you suggest for me to handle that? Because, you know, mostly if they're there, they'll believe you. Does that make sense? Like, yeah, they'll see the pictures, but they believe you. They trust you. How would you handle that?
Here's my case by case on that. Like anything, like any product, I generally know either somebody in my downline or my sister sideline, or like Kirsten or Jessica or somebody like that, who has generally tried the product, so I can have a little bit at least, oh, well, my upline uses this and blah, 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 blah. That way I have like at least a bit of a testimonial. That's what I always do with stretch mark cream. I can pretty much say that everything on this table I have tried with the exception of stretch mark cream, simply because God blessed me when I had a 2-year-old. He had colic, but I didn't have any stretch marks. So I've never actually used this, and I actually just got it in my last auto shipment, simply because I didn't have it in my collection. And Kirsten tells me she uses it on her face as moisturizer, so I thought I would do that, or like on my feet for moisturizer or something like that. So up until now, I've never been able to talk really much about this product. I have before and after pictures, and I know people that have used it, so that's generally how I talk about it. That you know, like I have Kirsten's facial pictures from where she had cystic acne, and I generally have something of somebody that I know, like an upline, downline, or something, and I try to give their story. And yes, I do generally have a book that has a few before and afters of something like Wrap, Wow, System, and okay, baby, I'll get it in a minute. Okay, the System, things like that. I generally have, like, I don't want to like overwhelm people with like a whole bunch of before and after pictures. And I used to actually have like a disc on the computer that like went through them, but then people start watching that and not you, and it kind of takes away from it. So I stopped doing that. So I generally have like a book that's laying that, you know, just got them in it. And then if I'm talking about hair, skin, and nails, then I can take it out and just pass it around. Or if I'm talking about a wrap, I can take the picture and like pass it around so people can see it. So that's generally how I do it with the before and after pictures. If I'm doing a vendor event, I actually have like a board set up that has like a before and after of different things.
So, for example, let's say that you, like you said, you have a side sister that tried certain and so, and they'll ask you, okay, well, what is, how can I get those results? Or what I usually say is like, it all depends the desired result. Like, for example, like for hair, skin, and nails, a lot of people have asked me, wow, like I've shown before and after pictures for hair, skin, and nails, and they've asked me, have you tried the hair, skin, and nails? And I tell them, I haven't, but I know people that do. And one of the pictures that I have is one of the corporate approved picture, and it says the span was about a week or 2 weeks. I can't remember the actual, but it was just weeks. It wasn't even months. So one of the things that they asked me, oh, and how much do I have to buy in order to get that result? And I was like, I stuttered. One of the things that I said, well, everybody is different. You know, everybody gets different results, and you just keep taking it till you get the results. I don't know if I actually said that correctly. What would you say?
That's generally what I say, like even with wraps and stuff like that, then, you know, everybody's results are different because everybody's body chemistry is different depending on what you need in your body. So, you know, you basically take something until you get your desired result. And a lot of times when I'm doing a party, I explain our 90-day challenge as our products are completely 100% all natural, okay? You're not going to be taking regular and think that you're taking Correctol, okay? It doesn't work that way. It is a 100% all natural product. So it needs time to get into your body and to work into your body because it is a natural product. So I kind of explain it like that, and then everybody's, you know, results are going to be different. Obviously, I took hair, skin, and nails. My hair grew like 2 inches in a month, and I had, you know, like serious root rot going on with gray hair, and I was like, well, I got to slow this down. It was right about the time of the cruise, so I probably looked like a hag on the ship. I have personal results from hair, skin, and nails, so that's never been like my thing. But you know, it's like with everybody. Everybody's results are going to be different. Crystal, the one that's videoing it, she's really thin, fine hair. She can tell everybody like her hair feels like extremely, like a whole lot thicker and healthier and stuff like that. So, you know, it's like you tell everybody, everybody's results are going to be different. Just like with wraps, everybody's going to get different results.
And I finally got it to grow past my chin.